slapped by the mother. All right, Madonna, we're talking all things skin. No, we're not talking about things that make your skin crawl. We're talking about things that are going to make your skin better.
That's right, that's right. So one of the cells that's a problem predominantly when it comes to T helper 1s and 2s, a white blood cell called eosinophils. So eosinophils release acids, including histamine. They actually release a whole bunch of stuff. But these are released in the bloodstream in order to break down, like I said, the undigested allergens or intolerances or whatever's going on in there. So, which is why we go back to the gut. Because just say wheat and dairy mess up your eczema, they make you worse. So how does that get to the skin and cause a problem? The problem is that we then look, from a naturopathic perspective, we look at leaky gut. So funnily enough, leaky gut was proven in medical literature about 5 years ago, so now they're all over it, and the occasional researcher goes, yes, there's this thing called leaky gut, and naturopaths have been talking about it for 30 years, just saying. So now it's their new buzzword. So what happens in the gut? If we've got enough hydrochloric acid, so we need good hydrochloric acid to break down our proteins. If we've got enough HCl, that breaks down our proteins, and we don't have allergies and intolerances to things. When we get stressed, when we lack sleep, when we are toxic because of things like, well, there's many, many, many things that cause gut toxicity. So if we're not releasing enough hydrochloric acid, the protein chains stay too long. If we then get our gut inflamed continuously, that can cause leaky gut, so the gut membrane isn't as strong as it should be. These partially digested proteins end up out in your bloodstream where they're not supposed to be. The white blood cells then start spraying histamine and other acids on them to break them down. So, of course, your bloodstream isn't that far away from your skin, so the skin is where we see that inflammation in some people. Because it's a T helper 2 excess problem, exactly the same condition may manifest as asthma, or it may manifest as hay fever, or it may manifest as something else like arthritis. So the same condition, being an excess of T helper 2 cells with those type of immune problems, can manifest in many, many ways. When it comes to the autoimmunity, your immune system goes berserk. It's like you've got an ADHD immune system. So when you're looking at psoriasis or psoriatic arthritis or something like that, the immune system is attacking your skin. So there's actually an immune response. And once again, that's why steroids tend to give people some relief, because steroids dampen the immune system, which means you're more susceptible, of course, if you come in contact with a virus or a bacteria, so you can get colds, flus, bugs more easily. But basically, or those bugs can then build up in your system in the background because they're not being dealt with on a daily basis because we've suppressed the immune system with steroids.
And a lot of us don't even think about it.
No.
I mean, we don't. You don't. And this is why we've got you in here.
Yeah.
You explain these things. A lot of people come in and just, like we keep talking about, deal with the now, deal with the issue.
Yes.
But when you really, talk to you and listen to it, it's all connected. And the gut has so much to do with a lot of our issues.
It does. And there's more and more and more as the research on the microbiome continues. And I think I said this last week, the microbiome in the gut, actually the microbiome's all around your body, but particularly the gut is where the research is going on. It's now considered an endocrine organ. It makes hormones.
Yeah.
It interacts with every enzyme and hormone in your body. So these are not small things we're dealing with. So someone might come in and they say have constipation, and they don't really consider that a big thing. All they want is some sort of natural laxative because they're sick of just having to have half a cup of fibre a day or something. So whereas I think with constipation, well, what's going on upstream? Constipation's about the large bowel, but what's going on in the stomach, the pancreas, the liver, the gallbladder, the small intestine? Something's going on upstream. You don't just magically get constipated because you're not eating an orange a day.
And a lot of people do think that because they've got constipation, it's because they haven't had enough water.
Yeah.
I mean, the majority of the time that's true.
Yes.
But not always.
No.
There's a reason why constipation.
That's right. And then when you think about the immune connection to constipation, 60% of our bowel motion, sorry, going to go gross here, people, 60% of our bowel motion should be dead gut bacteria. So if you don't have enough gut bacteria in your intestines for some reason, we should have a couple of litres of bacteria in our bowel. We're only 10% human. We're mostly bacteria. So if we don't have enough bacteria in our bowel, then the constipation can kick in.
It explains a lot about a lot of people
It really does.
A lot of bacteria.
And so many things affect the gut bacteria. You know, it's all those same things. It's lack of sleep, it's lack of exercise, it's too much exercise, it's not enough water, it's too much alcohol, it's too much sugar, it's too much wheat, you know, it's blah, 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 blah.
Not enough sleep.
Yeah,
it's always
all
something.
of that affects it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You've made a lot of sense when it comes to, because I mean, I have psoriasis. A lot of people do have psoriasis and don't know they've got it.
Yes.
But you've made a lot of sense when it comes to how our gut responds to external factors,
Yes.
and how we respond as an internal person, as a being.
Yes.
So, and it doesn't mean you're going to go and have a scope down your throat or anything like
No,
that.
no.
But it does help.
Because
to
that
know.
often doesn't find it.
No, that's right.
You know, so that having the endoscopy and colonoscopy, that's like opening up the bonnet of the car and sort of saying, yep, everything's there.
Yeah.
You know, change that hose and, you know, release that lug, but hey, you're right.
It looks good today.
You know, yeah.
Lovely.
But that's not what's going on. That's not the stuff that's going to find leaky gut. It's not the stuff that's going to find a lack of hydrochloric acid. It's not going to find the enzyme and hormonal production of these organs.
And it might be something as simple as you just lacking a particular mineral.
Yeah.
You know, or the bacteria is just a little bit out of whack and you've got to settle it down. It might very well settle it
Yeah.
down.
And I'm hoping, I'm in discussions with another company at the moment about another DNA testing protocol. So I'm sort of hoping, because the first time I started looking at DNA testing was about 10 years ago. They were like $2,000 for the client, you know, and it was it was just because it was so. I think now, because there's so much more of it, there's only one testing place in Australia, but because so many people are doing it these days, the cost obviously is coming down.
Yeah.
So maybe equipment's getting more cost effective and all sorts of things. So I was chatting to a rep yesterday about it, and she was saying that now we can find those SNPs in our DNA that basically can shut down our ability to, say, detox, or shut down our ability to, like especially liver metabolism of, say, estrogens and hormones and what the thyroid's up to and all sorts of things. So some people can have a genetic inability to actually do something if they don't take care of that gene.
Yeah.
So
Our
that'll
bodies,
be...
our bodies do have a mind of their own.
Yes, they do. They do, they do.
Although I can feel my mother's rolling her eyes. She's listening to it all. It is really, really interesting. And, you know, we're going to talk, you know, probably in the next 15 minutes of what people can do and where they can go to get a bit more information, because a lot of people do suffer from skin conditions.
Absolutely.
But we're just going to take a quick break now. We're going to drag Melissa Etheridge into the room and see what she's got to say, because I'm not the only one. Because it's AFM 100.3.